Hi, I'm Catherine
And I'm Lynn, and we are a coffee break.
with Cat and Mom. Welcome back to our podcast. Today is the start of season 4, which is our seasonal and holiday edition, which is our favorite time of the year. Last year, which was our first year doing the podcast, we had a lot of fun doing Christmas themed and just like playing around with like the editing stuff. And then just the topics. It's just fun to talk about.
Yeah.
And we got to have, I think, 2 people on. It was my cousin and Angie, right?
My best
Angie,
friend.
yeah.
I think so.
It was right after
she
New
came to
Year's,
visit, yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. And actually, last year we had the Christmas tree in the background, so maybe we'll have to set up one of these episodes so that we have the Christmas tree in the background.
Well, last year we were still in our condo. That's another story.
Yeah.
But anyway, so now we're in our home that I bought here in Stewart, Florida. And so we have 2 Christmas trees. So the one from last year is on the loft, and our own Christmas tree that was in storage for many, many months is back here. So, but we're all set up here. I don't know if they can see the little setup here on our.
I don't think they can.
They can, but it smells good. It smells like Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pine cones.
Yes.
But actually, we did have some troubles with the Christmas tree because the lights wouldn't light up since it's probably because it's been in storage for so long.
But not only that, the Christmas tree. Okay, so you know how they make Christmas trees now? It's like if you buy a new fridge, it will die within like 2 or 3 years. Where the ones in the 70s, they're still probably going. Same thing. This Christmas tree I bought it from Walmart when I just had your oldest sister, and she's 23 years old. And it still works. But every year there's one more string of light that doesn't want to light because it's a pre-lit one.
This year is like a whole section.
Yeah, so I went and bought some extra light, and oh my gosh, it looks perfect.
Yeah.
It really does.
It does. It looks amazing. But this episode is pretty much going to be all over the place. We haven't been like really we haven't made an episode in about 3 weeks, I believe.
Which is
so
unusual.
Yeah. But, there's a lot of stuff going on, which we're going to go over. So we're kind of going to give you guys just a recap of what we've been up to and then what there is to come. So I guess I'll start with my Ironman. And if you're new here, I just did an Ironman November 1st, which is something that I've been training for about like 8 months. And it went amazing. I finished. So it was 12 hours and 18 minutes. I had my mom and my boyfriend there to support me. So that was a lot of fun.
I don't know if you can put some pictures or videos.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess I'll give like a quick little recap. Somebody's at our front door.
Yeah.
I guess I'll give a quick little recap of it. The swim went amazing. It was actually freezing outside in Panama City. It was like
Panama City Beach, Florida.
Panama City Beach, not Panama Canal.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what somebody thought. But anyway, the water was very warm compared to outside of the water. I was freezing.
The water was 75 point something, and it was 50 outside.
Yeah, and for it to be wetsuit legal, I believe it's like 76.2 or something. So we got lucky with that. So I had my wetsuit on. Swim went great. My second lap, somebody tried to use me as a life raft and push me down. And I'm
just going to be proud mom here. So just recap is that you line up in the morning, it's still dark, the sun has not risen yet, and they have it's still well organized. I'm so impressed, but they have those guys and women with big signs, and it says if you plan on swimming it like 60 minutes, like less than an hour, like you start there, you went to the 101 to 111, 1 hour and 1 minute to 1 hour and 11 minutes, and it goes up by 10 minutes up until 2 hours plus. And I'm just going to brag because she's my daughter, but she did swim in under an hour. So she did 59, 31,
something like that. Which
third woman overall.
Yeah.
To come out of the water.
Which is really cool.
In your age group.
That definitely, I had a feeling I was going to be able to go under an hour. It just depended on the second loop, getting around people. And I really had to.
People come in 3 swimmers every 5 seconds. Come out, competitors.
Yeah.
So by the time you come back, they're still going in the water.
Right. And it definitely helped that I was a competitive swimmer for like whatever, how many years, like 13 years or something like that, because those warm-ups before those big swim meets are hell. You're like on people's feet, you're having to like dive down, you're literally getting pulled by the feet. So it definitely helped me with that background, because on the second lap you have a lot of slower swimmers from the back, and which all passed me in the bike, but it's fine. And so I literally was in the middle of the ocean, like you're out there, because this is like the ocean
from the
and I'm like out in the ocean, and I'm like diving under people, because like there's like multiple times when I had two swimmers on each side of me, and they start to like merge in, and I'm like, what are y'all doing? I'm right here. And I'm like trying to get in between them and pass them quick, but I have to do like a 1-arm butterfly, dive down underneath them, and then I realize as I'm diving down that the bottom is just black, like it's just the abyss, and that terrified me. So I was like, just don't look down.
On the warm-up the day before, there were some stingrays that were swimming with you guys.
This guy who was right in front of me gets out, and he goes, did you see those huge stingrays that were right under those people right behind us? And I'm literally right behind them, and I'm like,
shit, that was me.
So that was really cool. And then I actually got stung by jellyfish, I think 3 or 4 times. I saw a huge one, and that kind of like took the air out of me. But that was like right before I finished the second loop. So like I was just excited when I started to see the sand and I could see the bottom. I was like, I'm almost there. And then I had somebody give me a tip that once you kind of near the shore, to start kicking a lot, because your body's going to go into shock once you like go try to run up straight or straight up.
Yeah.
And then also the cold air hits you, which, mind you, I'm in Florida, okay? So it's not that cold for people, but for me from South Florida, it hit me
we saw
pretty
some
hard.
people coming from the north,
Yeah.
and they were like, oh my God, they were wearing like shorts and t-shirts, and here we were like not kidding, 3 layers with our parka.
And I am originally, like, we're originally from Iowa, but we've gotten so acclimated to the weather here that like cold weather hits us pretty hard. So I go to like run up, like upright, and it's like, oh, this like cramp in my shoulders. It's just freezing. I felt like shit. But then once you kind of get running and you're like the blood starts flowing, you feel fine. I got to the transition.
Well, somebody
area.
helped. Those 2 people.
Oh
helped
yeah,
you strip off
the
your
wetsuit strippers, which I think is hilarious. I was so excited when I saw them. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to do what they do in the videos. So I like took it off, and then you lay down on your back, and they grab the wetsuit and just rip it off of you. But I got caught in my foot, so another guy had to come over and like quickly get it out from my heel, which I didn't really care how long that took. I was there just to really finish. I wanted to get under 13 hours, which I did, obviously. But once I got to the transition, there's like the women's area and the men's area. And one, it's very organized. But the women,
organized.
the volunteers in there, they are so like uplifting. They will help you with anything. They'll help you put your shoes on. They'll help you.
Well, you were the 3rd woman out there, so they were probably
Yes.
like, woohoo, you know.
Yeah, no, they were hyping me up and stuff. And they helped me put the gels in the back of my suit, because I just wasn't capable of doing that. And they helped me kind of guide me through everything and just get my spirits up before I went out to the bike. And then once I got to the bike, couldn't find my bike for a second there.
It was hilarious. She started running and she had to stop herself, because where you were set up, it was really great for us to see her, because we were right behind her, and there was nobody, like no other competitors behind you. And then the exit to go out, it was right there by you. So, and what was, I just to cut off here for just a second, I'm so sorry, but what was very impressive is when you went to transition, all of the bikes are there, and we're talking 2,100 competitors. There's over $7 to $8 million worth of equipment there, bikes and equipment.
Maybe more than that. I mean, there's $20,000 bikes in there.
Yes. So, I mean, they estimated that when we were reading, Bryce and I were reading about it. And then she took her bike, and like all of the bikes were there. It was so exciting, because afterwards it was when we walk back to see it. And then all the bikes, I mean, not all of the bikes, but 90% of the bikes were gone. It's just like scary, because now it's like a parking lot, you know, like a regular parking lot with just rows of where the bikes should have been. But we have that as a, you know, and filming and be like, look at all the bikes that are still there.
Which actually, we have all the we have all the videos on our past podcast episode, which would turn more into a vlog. It wasn't really a podcast, but if you want to go like see kind of all the behind the scenes and what actually went down,
as much as I could,
then go check out that video, because you get everything that I'm talking about. You get to see it all pretty much, except for, I mean, you obviously can't see me like in the bike because it's one big loop. So I really only saw them at the start and then the end.
Yeah, because where we were parked, we got there early. Obviously, we were there by 4:30 in the morning. If I remember well, it was 4:45. That's when the site opened for the competitors. And like I said, like there was $8 million worth of equipment. It was like heavily secured by military and canines and whatnot. We saw them in the morning. They were not joking. You were not coming in until they opened the gate, but everybody was just so nice and respectful. And then just to make sure, very secure, to make sure you had like your thing, whatever, that said like who you were and this and that, even for us later on to go get our stuff. Extremely well organized. But even before that, when we got there on Thursday, being at the Athletes Village, and it was a village, it was amazing, everything that was there and everything that you could do and the way they were helping you with your bike, your equipment and whatever. And then of course, all the swag you could buy. That was
that's
crazy.
where you drop all your money. That's where you drop all your money. But back to like when you get on the bike, you have to mount before the line. So obviously I made sure to do that.
Dismount before the line. After the line, because you have to dismount before the line.
Mount after the line, yeah. So they're like, wait till you get, like, make sure your wheel is past the line. So it's like, okay. I start the bike and my brain wasn't functioning. We literally bought these like white sleeves to put on because it was very chilly and the weather said it was going to be very chilly after my swim. So I was like, oh, let's go get these white sleeves so I can at least be a little bit warmer. My brain wasn't processing or functioning and I didn't put them on. And I get on the bike and the wind starts hitting me and I'm like, this is freezing. Like I am freezing right now. And I'm like trying to bike faster, which was probably not a good idea. I was trying to bike faster to warm up, but I was not warming up. And every time I went to go get my Gatorade bottle, because I knew I had to force myself to take down the gels and force myself to have like my Tailwind, which is just a liquid carb. Because if I hadn't, then I would just like bonk out on the run. So to squeeze the bottle, I couldn't feel my fingers, and I was so scared I was going to slip and drop my bottle, which I didn't, thankfully. There's multiple times.
There's laws for that.
Yeah, there's multiple times when I almost just.
There's rules, not laws. There's rules.
The law of the land.
Well, otherwise you would have gotten like yellow or red or whatever.
Yes, I did see. Yeah, there's penalty tents, and if you get like, they show you a card, you have to stop at the next penalty tent, and it's either 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or you're disqualified. Okay. And I did see one guy get penalized. There was multiple. I saw so many people like biking all near each other, like these like grown men with super nice bikes, just all biking near each other. I'm like, realistically, you guys should all be disqualified, but whatever.
Yeah, because there were the rules of like you have to be so far away, but. We did that's what kind of broke our heart. It's like, knowing how much she's worked to get there and then, all the constant hours and days and whatnot. And then we saw, because you got out of the water so quickly, I don't know how many other people got taken out of the water, but we saw one guy being brought in, like, he had to get on the jet ski and then get whatever. And you just look at me like, oh my gosh, you just freaking started and you have to quit because what he did he go on the wrong side of the boat? What happened? I don't know. But it was somebody that looked like in shape, right? Like okay, so he knows what he trained for this. Yeah. And then we saw so many people coming out and like Bryce was saying like, oh my gosh, look, they're done. And like they were off of their bike and Waka's like, oh my gosh, like with everything now you're done because you got disqualified or you just decide to quit or whatever. And then when you got to the run and I was trying to catch her because we all had made some very fun signs to, motivate her and actually turned out to be very popular by a lot of people. Can I borrow your sign? And then holding on their sign for their own person. But there's an older gentleman that came in and he had just turned halfway. So he's halfway done with
the run. He's at 13 miles of the run.
Yeah, I understand it's a marathon, and I understand I've never done this. But he already has the tattoo, so he's already done one, right? Or so many. And he's older, and he just walked right next to the ref, who I didn't even know was standing next to me. And he had the your thingy you had on your
tracker
on your ankle, and he's just like, there you go, I'm done. And the guy's like, but you're like, you only have you only have 13 miles left. Like you could walk it. It was what was the time?
If he would have walked it, he would have made it by hours before like the cutoff.
Yeah, 12:30 a.m. Sunday morning was the cutoff. And because it started on Saturday.
So 17 hours.
And yeah.
And he was ahead of me, right?
Yeah.
So he had more than enough time. I finished at 12 hours, so that gave me almost 5 hours.
He could have walked. Yeah,
to
and I
just
was
do
like,
some car wheels and shit.
all the money, the training, all this, and you have 13 miles left, dude. Crawl it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. And he was just very like, I'm done. Oh shit. Okay.
Like, I put a lot of money into this. I'm not doing that. But once to the bike, I literally was so close to like quitting. Like, my brain was like, this is stupid. I hate this. Like, I was freezing. My body, like, my back was hurting so bad from like trying to stay in the like arrow position, which I did for majority of it. But there's a lot of times when I had to like stand up in the bike and stretch my back, and like
I'm sure they all do that.
I felt the tension release, and I was like, people behind me are gonna think I'm just standing up and peeing, which I did pee on the bike. You have to pee on the bike, okay? A lot of almost everybody pees on the bike, or you stop and you pee. There's people that stopped and pee.
But it's when you said, because it was my brother's bike that she had.
Yeah.
And you said, well, first you talked to him to help you go through those little hills.
My uncle is not alive right now.
Yeah, he's passed away.
Yes. So I wasn't. You're not actually able to talk to people.
Yeah. So I meant like talking in spirit. So sorry, I forgot to mention that you passed away. But and then you said something like you were asking him to help you go through those little hills or whatever, probably big hills. But anyway, and then you said he's probably laughing at me because that guy peed on his bike, and I was like, well, he did competition too. He probably peed on his bike as well.
Yeah.
Mind you, they're all clean, right? It's already scrubbed and everything is clean.
I cleaned it the second I got back.
Yeah.
There was like gel all over it because if you don't know, like, you have to obviously have a certain amount of carbs to keep going throughout the race, and they make these gels that make it easy to just digest it. Mine was apple flavored, so it was like applesauce. It's very easy to take down. That's something I will only have those. Like, I'm just gonna buy in bulk with my training and only have those. It's perfect. But the bike, I almost quit 12 miles in because I realized I had 100 miles to go, and then I was like, I cannot quit. Like, I spent too much money, and also I trained so hard, and I had a Bible verse on my arm, so that helped a lot. And I just repeated that in my head, and then I felt really good. What I did was just get to mile 20, just get to mile 40, just get to mile 60, 80. But then once you hit 100, you're like, I'm almost done. But then those last 12 miles are the longest 12 miles of your life. And once I got to the next transition for the run, I had a girl next to me who looked probably like 25, 26. And she was like, I'm ready to take a nap. That was like the longest, like the last 12 miles felt like the 100 miles before. And the volunteer who was dressed up as a unicorn, she's like, yeah, I remember doing that race last year, or this race last year, and it's just that last 12 miles. But then she got us all hyped up to go for the run. She was amazing. Gave me some water, helped me put my shoes on and everything. And I actually messaged her on Facebook.
Oh, that's
she
nice.
posted something, and she's like, if you saw me out there, I was a volunteer dressed as a unicorn, whatever. And I was like, yeah, you really helped me before the run.
They said at the meeting, the official opening ceremony, whatever, because that was the athletes meeting was the next day. So the opening ceremony, the face of Iron Man, I can't remember his name, but he's the one that does them all. You remember his voice. He's the one that says, Catherine Miletich from Stewart, Florida, you are an Ironman. See, I'm shaking, just like, oh my gosh, I cried so much when I heard this. You did too. But anyway,
well, I don't really hear it. I just saw the red carpet, and I was like,
the goosebumps and whatnot. But what they were saying at the meeting is he said, our volunteers, which most of them, they say have done one of them or they have done triathlons. He said, they're amazing. They're the best liars there is. You're going to walk into that tent to grab your water or to grab whatever, and you're going to look like complete shit. And he did say that. And he said, but they're going to tell you, you look amazing, you are amazing, and they're going to pump you up, and then you're going to walk out of there, and you're going to feel like, yes, I got this, knowing very well you do look like shit. And then you said that's exactly what happened.
There's actually a lot of high schoolers and middle schoolers, and even little kids who are at the aid stations who had the most energy, and they're like, you look amazing, you got this, girl power. And then there's this one lady who I saw on the bike and on the run who was screaming at the top of her lungs, and she's like, look for the next guy and pass him. And I was like, okay. And so that just kept me going too. There were people playing music on the side.
Oh, it was
just
amazing.
such a great just the energy, the people is really what makes it.
For on the viewer side, on being like, you know, a fan, whatever, one of supporters. I don't know why my eyes are crying. I don't know if it's the air or whatever, but you know, like you guys being swimmers and then rowing, you know,
Yeah.
like she just went to a swim meet last weekend with her sister, and she's like, damn, I don't even know how you freaking did this for like, what, 13, 15
All
years?
the parents deep down want their kids to beat your kids.
Yeah.
It's like,
And it takes forever, and then you wait. And then rowing was the same thing. Like, yay, like go, like I hope your kid's gonna do great, but technically, like I hope my kid's boat beats your kid's boat, right? So because it's like intense and right there. Where the Ironman, yeah, mind you, some of them are like professional athletes. They're there to win. They're there to get in the top 3. They're there,
Yeah.
but 95% of the people are there just like, I just want to finish. You know, that's what I
Yeah.
want to do. And like their names are on their bibs, you know, so there's a bib number and their name. And I mean, it got to a point that you scream for all of them, like you, as if it's your person, you know. And then while they were all gone, while most of them were gone for the bike, you know, you stay there, and it was at the pier in Panama City Beach. And so everybody's eating, walking around, killing time, going to the stores, and okay, let's all go eat. And so people are sitting there for like a long time, because you know they're going to be on the bike for 5-6 hours, and everybody's just, and we're watching football and whatnot, and all of a sudden, like, hey, I saw you yesterday at the, you know, when they were doing the practice swim. Oh yeah, your daughter this and that. Hey, blah blah. And then all of a sudden, everybody's following on the app each other's kid or a person, and then you scream for each other, and then you see them again, like, hey, so how did she do? Hey, where's she at? And blah blah blah. And then, you know, then they start running. Then you go grab a drink somewhere else, and then they're all like cheering on. It's like, hey, they're coming in, and what? It was just absolutely, for me as a parent, for my kids being competitors, this was the best, I think, event I've been, because not only do you see a lot of people, not only just your kid, but the energy.
oh, it was amazing.
Positiveness is just it. You pick up on it like yourself. You start screaming. When we had a very good spot to see you coming in, and the stupid app did not update. So we kind of turned around, and she was right in front of us, and we're like, crap. So we got, like, you know, her swimming, running
past,
by.
yeah.
So it was good though. We had like a good finish, but people are coming in, like, and we're screaming for every single one of them as if he's my friend, my kid, my husband, whatever. Everybody's screaming for each other, and then everybody wants to be touched. Like everybody's putting their hands out. It's just, it was.
Yeah. And then for like me biking, there's even like athletes who would, you know, obviously because I came out of the water so early, I was going to have the very, very good bikers passing me. And a lot of them would say, you got this, to me, or they'd be like, Catherine, like, you're doing great, keep going. And that, like, that's what really helped, is just them, like, and I try to be like, you do, but I'm fucking dying. I'm like, I don't even know how you're able to, like, form a sentence right now. So sorry to those people that I wasn't able to be like, you got this too. Because I was just like, But there was no sentences being formed. But then for the run, like you said, like, everybody's cheering you on, and it just feels amazing. Like, you are able to completely zone out from the fact that you're running and just get, like, excited because all these people are cheering you on. And then you meet people during your run. I met a guy who ran with me for about 4 miles of it. He helped me go, like, an 8:20, 8:40 pace, except for at the aid stations, him and I walked them. But he was able to help me get, like, at such a fast pace, because he was like, I'm going to take your mind off this, and I'm going to tell you, like, a couple stories. And he just told me stories about his daughter.
While he was running at an 8-something pace.
He's perfect. He's not, and I'm like trying to, like, talk back, and I'm like, I can't. So I'm like, wow, that's crazy. That's awesome. And then there's this girl who we literally were, I think, second and third girl out of the water. We were next to each other the whole time for the bike. Obviously not next to each other, but, like, it was kind of back and forth, passing each other. And then we were literally right next to each other the whole time during the run. Her name was Emily. And at the end, we both kind of, like, realized, we're like, oh my gosh, we've been next to each other this whole time. And we kind of just, the last 2 miles, she asked me, like, why I was doing it. I asked her. She was a swimmer too. She swam in college. So that was super cool to just, like, meet people. And at the end, like I said, good job to her. But just an amazing experience. And then when you ring the bell, she rang it once, but I was like, no, I'm like shaking that thing, yeah. And I kind of blacked out, so I don't really remember him saying my name, but I remember the red carpet.
But it's like when they cross, like we saw so many people crossing. I mean, but not that many, but enough, you know. Like I mean, obviously the winner, we didn't even see him. He was done in like less than 8 hours, but
no, he finished in 8 hours, 8:30.
I thought it was less than that. But anyway, so, you know, like some of them come in and then they had a chef. I mean, they have more than one chef, but making food for them, you know, like right there, like fresh stuff, whatnot. So there's some people like still talking, being okay, going to eat. Some people like straight to medic, you know, like they were just they needed some like serious help, like no joke, serious help. And then people like you, like, I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know where to go. Like, what
I did. I walked across the finish line, whatever. And I thought there's going to be somebody right here that's going to give me a medal. And I'm like, where the fuck do I go? So I'm like literally looking around, and this girl goes, are you okay? And I go, where's the medal? She goes, it's over there. You know what? I'm actually just going to walk you, okay? So she walks me through, and I get the medal, and I'm like about to walk off, and she's like, no, now you get your shirt. And then she like walked me down, and then she's
shirt
like,
and hat.
Here's water, and then here's going to be the finish line photos, and then over there is going to be your food, okay? And I was like, okay. Well, I was completely lost.
You didn't get the food right away because we were screaming your name.
Yeah.
And then she came to, you know, we hugged her, and then I hugged her, and then we kind of stepped out, and I was crying, then you were crying, and I hugged her again, and and I smell. That's all I remember you saying. Yeah. I was like, it's okay. I didn't smell her at that point. I smelled her later, but I didn't smell her at that point. I'm like, you're fine, and you hugged Bryce, and then we came to get you with your food, and you could not even eat a thing. And
I couldn't eat or sleep for a week.
It was amazing food too.
Yeah, I feel so bad. I couldn't eat or sleep for a week. I felt like shit. I'm just now recovering. Mentally, it was rough because I just felt like this huge low, and physically, it was just, I couldn't even walk after.
Well, yeah, we helped you walk. I mean, you were fine walking, and all of a sudden we took pictures, and then she couldn't walk to the car. So we helped you. We helped you from the car to the hotel. I was helping you because Bryce had your bike, because we were not leaving the bike in the car, obviously. Yeah. And people were waiting at the elevator, and I was like, no, she's good. She finished. Woo! She's okay. She couldn't even stand straight. It was
like the worst throbbing pain for 3 days. Like, I didn't even want to be in my body. It hurt so bad.
But, okay, so to continue what's going on, you know, what happened in the past 3 weeks is you left 3 days, not even 2 days later. Because we got home that was a Saturday. We got home Sunday, like at dinner, and Wednesday you left.
For Asheville, North Carolina, I had a job interview. I kind of already had the job. It was just to meet them and see the place. Asheville is beautiful. The mountains are amazing. Area's wonderful. The people were amazing.
Henryville too?
Hendersonville. It was beautiful. We were actually about to sign off on a lease in an apartment, and then I got another possible job opportunity here in Florida that I just decided that I think was better for me. Even though as much as I loved the people in North Carolina, it was just an amazing opportunity here. So I turned down that offer and I didn't sign the lease, which that is still an option for me though, because it is a standing offer. They loved me that much.
But then, so the recoup time, you know, like you got here, you still had a hard time eating and moving, then you got in a car, then, you know, the adrenaline of getting, you know, your first big interview, and then that was the only interview you've ever had for...
Oh, and then we went on like a huge trail and walked that trail, and then after that, 2 days later?
You flew to
Iowa to see my best friend, and I was there for 4 days. Then I flew back, but my flight kept being delayed, and the connection was delayed, and I missed my connection, and I had to get another flight.
That's when the government was shut down. We had that here in the United States, if you're not from the United States watching.
But it wasn't even because of the government shutdown. It was because,
well, the air traffic controllers, there were none.
No, that's not why.
I thought that's what it was why.
No, it was because there was the hook to close the, where like all the luggages broke. And it's because
but I'm just yes, okay, for your thing. But there was a lot of delays and
but the government was reopened at that point.
Well, ish.
And then the connection flight was because the pilot was late.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. I had to switch my flight to Fort Lauderdale instead of Palm Beach, and then I got home at 2 a.m. instead of 9 p.m. So that
Yeah.
was awesome. But I almost had to sleep in Chicago and then come back the next morning at 9 a.m. The flight would be at 9 a.m.
That would have been like, I said, well, find a nice seat, nice bench, and have a good
Yeah.
sleep because there's no way there's hotels. Anyways, with all the delays and cancellation they had, and it's Chicago, shit airport. That's why your dad always call it like shit Chicago. Worst thing there. But so, yeah, so she got home and then started to really recoup. And
Yeah.
you were struggling and you were just like had a hard time sleeping
I still
or
am,
very
like,
tired. And,
I slept terrible last night. I'm still
but
like
you're
struggling.
eating good now. At
Yeah.
least you're back to your eating routine.
Yeah.
Because that was a little concerning. She was just not eating. I mean, mind you, you were eating a lot because you were training, and it's okay. You were not eating as
Mhm.
much, but you were just
Zero
not eating as
appetite.
much. So
But now I'm like, my appetite is back and I'm starting to train a little bit more and more, just getting back into it. I just need to fix my sleeping schedule. So,
well, I just did. I just went to work on lift legs with her. Like she had just restarted, and I couldn't walk for 2 days, but that's okay. She was totally fine. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get up and go adjust my patient. I had a hard time, but
it was a good workout though.
it was a good work.
And then, that's all really good news. And then our bad news is that the condo that we've been literally talking about since the beginning of this podcast is we're trying to sell it. It's been almost 3 years.
It's under contract.
And it's under contract, and we might
Supposed to close on
have
Monday,
just
and
lost
we are
the
Saturday.
sale. So we might have just lost the sale, and the condo might not be sold. But it's okay.
I don't know if it's okay because now I have to go and deep clean the whole thing. But the buyers, I thought they were a couple, but they were.
They broke up,
They broke up.
so that's caused a big issue or a big problem.
So, yeah, I'm not happy. I had to announce it to my mom. That was hell. So, but hey, pray to God and He's got this.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot lose. I have to stop losing sleep over this because there's other
It's
stuff
out
going
of
on.
her control,
This,
and God has a perfect plan, and there's
I
a
know what
reason
the
for
heck
this.
that plan is.
There's something bigger and better.
Okay.
Maybe a better offer. Who knows? But pretty much that's what we've been up to. And then we just had Thanksgiving.
Well, wait. Your sister had a huge swim meet last weekend.
Oh yes,
Yes.
I totally. Well, my sister's marathon.
Oh yeah, Isabella,
My older
oldest
sister
one,
did her second marathon, and
shredded.
yeah, she
Shredded. She
went.
cut to 20 minutes.
Was it 20 or was it 20?
Yeah, because she
Yeah.
did in 40, and she had like a 59 last time, like a 3:59. That was a 3:41.
Yeah, so she did
Yeah.
just about 20 minutes, which is crazy for that.
her second marathon.
Yeah.
She was going for the 20. I know it's not the 2026; it's the 2027 Boston Marathon qualifier.
Yeah, that's like her end goal. And she was like, I'm going to go out and she told me, I'm just going to run as fast as I can, and see how long I
As
can
long
hold
as you
this
can,
pace. And she held it for a very, good amount of time. I feel like there had to have been a hill because her time, spiked up around, mile 19 or something.
Or maybe she stopped to go poop.
Oh, maybe. That makes sense. That's what happened during my Ironman, except
Yeah.
all the porta potties were full.
We were all like, oh, like we were following her on the app, like, oh yeah, she's probably dying. Oh no, she picked that up. What's going on? Oops, yeah.
Yeah.
That's when she went to the bathroom.
But yeah, no, it was amazing. And then my little sister just had her swim meet, and she dropped time in literally
Every
everything.
single 5 events, but
And got her-
finally got her first 2 flags, which is Florida age group championship times, qualification times.
Which is
and-
fast. They're
Yes, so we, coming from Iowa, a smaller state, less swimmer per capita compared to Florida. And Florida being so big is split in 6 sections. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I was just one.
yes, and even Illinois,
Yeah.
but Illinois is that was even faster than
Yeah.
Iowa, but Florida is freaky fast. Per experience, talking to her and my oldest one, Isabella, they're just like, holy crap, this is fast. Like we have a 12-year-old that's going to be 13 next week that just made sectionals and is going for Olympic trials. She's going to be 13. Like it's ridiculous. So having Amelia having all of her qualification times, Q times in Iowa, coming here and drastically lost them all, by a lot. Trying to rebuild her confidence in her swimming, and then we switched team and whatnot. So she coach saw some potential in her and worked her hard, and she was on cloud nine. She was even
she's been
slapping the
amazing.
water when she saw that she got it. It was just
made finals. Yeah, it was great. It's a great
medal. And, so that was good.
I'd say it was a great month for all the sisters.
Yes,
in athletics and sports, and we dominated. So
absolutely, I kept saying like you were a badass, and then Isabella did our marathon. I said the badassery is continuing. And then I had to say, little sis was not going to let that badassery stop. So then, it was her moment to shine.
Yeah,
so.
she definitely did shine. So that was an awesome month.
Yes.
But now, I feel like I was saying something before, but before we brought up Bella's marathon and Amelia's swim meet. What was it?
I don't know. Like, it was the condo. That's that would be my moment to shine, but I don't know if it's gonna happen.
We'll see. We'll pray on it. But yeah, we had Thanksgiving, which happy Thanksgiving to all our listeners. We had a traditional Thanksgiving, so that was fun because last year we were at the condo. We didn't really have any of our cooking stuff. Well, your cooking stuff, it's not mine. And so we went to this place that had it had a bunch of seafood buffet.
They had a traditional Thanksgiving stuff,
but then they also had sushi and king crab and all that stuff. But I wanted to be at home with you guys and have just our traditional Thanksgiving.
Watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade,
so that was so much fun.
The dog show and stuff. Yeah, I cooked all day, which it's what we used to do. Your entire lives. That's what we did. So because I'm Canadian, so I learned the tradition when I got with your dad, but moved in with your dad. But yeah, sorry. So that was fun to do it again, and we still have a lot of food, except that tonight we decided that we're not going to eat turkey. We're done.
We're going to go out for dinner.
Tomorrow we'll eat some more turkey, but we need a little night off of turkey. But.
Yeah. And then what we kind of have in store for Christmas is we definitely want to do more interviews with our family members because we have a lot of fun stories from literally all the years of when we went to Montreal for Christmas and had that big family party. And
my niece is going to be here with her kids and my mom
for New Year's,
so we can have her on the podcast.
And then my graduation is December 13th. So we'll definitely do a podcast on that and maybe vlog that, do a little vlog pod.
Well, little pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
But we are a coffee break, so we usually start by talking about coffee. We try to visit little coffee shops, not saying that big chains are not cool, but we try to find the little coffee shops mom and pops here and there. And you've tried quite a few. I was not with them in North Carolina, but you've tried quite a few there.
I'll actually pull up, I'll show you the picture. If you're watching on what's it called? If you're watching the video version of this, you will see it.
Well, while you search for that, I'm going to say kudos to PJ's Coffee House and Panama City Beach. They were the only thing open when the Ironman started. So, having her getting on the bike quite early, we were left with nothing. There was no food trucks. There was no nothing. I mean, there's got to be something somewhere that's got to be done. Thankfully, that coffee shop was open. They must have made a fortune.
Oh, for sure.
There's a huge line outside. And when we finally got to be, get to the counter to order, people were so nice, so patient. And they probably wanted to just kick us all out. But everybody was everybody was so happy, such on a high, and just, yay, blah, blah, my person's on a bike. It was I know they are a chain. I think they are PJs. I mean, I know it's a person that started that, a woman. You could read her history, but that coffee shop per se on Panama City Beach pier, you guys rocked it. You were awesome.
But back to our little coffee shop. So we love to support small businesses. Mm-hmm. And in Asheville, North Carolina, we went to Rowan Coffee. And I don't know if you can see, but that matcha is beautiful. Okay. Everybody in there dressed so cool. They had amazing style. The vibe of the coffee shop was amazing. It was just beautiful, and it was very open. They had a lot of seating. It was literally all the seating was full. It must have been a very...
where was it? What was the name?
It was Rowan Coffee Shop.
Okay.
So in Asheville. And it's in West Asheville. So it's more of the grungier style. grungier side. They are called the hippies, apparently. That's what I was told. I don't think that's an offensive thing to say because I think everybody there's cool. And I wish I could dress like them. But they had a lot of fun drinks. I just had a matcha and my boyfriend had a cappuccino. And we just sat outside. So weather is beautiful and the leaves are amazing because we don't have the fall leaves here in Florida. But if you guys are near Asheville, they have a lot of cool coffee shops, a lot of smaller businesses. And I think that's kind of the thing there. There's supporting small businesses, which is great. So go check out Rowan Coffee if you guys are near Asheville. And stay tuned for our podcast, which come out every Sunday. Our Instagram is @acoffee.break. Our TikTok is @coffee_break. And our video podcasts are on YouTube. And be sure to check out all our Christmas edition for season 4 because it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to have a lot of fun stuff in store.
And we always end with a Would You Rather. And this one comes again from your little sister because she loves to come up with ideas for that. So she is asking, would you rather be a Santa's elf or Santa's reindeer? Which we all know now that all the reindeers are female on that side.
I'd rather be Santa's reindeer because, you don't actually have to work except for one night of the year. So probably that one.
Really?
And you probably get fed well.
Well,
and you get
it would be like you get to see the world.
Yeah, you get to see the world too.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, whatever.
But if you're an elf, you live forever, right?
I don't know if I want to live forever.
Because according to the movies, they're like 112 years old or whatever, but they look like kids.
It's crazy. It's very interesting. But Santa is real. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.